In the heart of Mesopotamia, where the Euphrates River winds through arid plains, there once stood a city so magnificent that ancient travelers swore it touched the heavens. This was Babylon, a city of towering walls, golden gates, and splendor beyond imagination. And at its center, legend whispers of one of the greatest marvels ever built by human hands, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. The story begins with King Nebuchadnezzar II, who ruled Babylon in the 6th century BCE. Known as a conqueror and builder, he dreamed of making Babylon the jewel of the ancient world. His most ambitious project, however, was born not out of conquest but out of love. His queen, Amytis of Media, longed for the green hills and lush forests of her homeland. Babylon, with its scorching sun and endless dust, felt foreign and harsh to her. To ease her sorrow, Nebuchadnezzar vowed to recreate her homeland within the city's walls. What rose from his vision was unlike anything the world had ever seen. Imagine vast stone terraces, stacked one upon another, forming a mountain of greenery in the middle of the desert. Trees stretched high into the sky, vines cascaded from balconies, and exotic flowers bloomed in a rainbow of colors. At the top of this living wonder, it was said one could look down over Babylon and see not a desert but a paradise. Yet such beauty required genius. Ancient engineers devised a system so advanced it still puzzles historians today. Water from the Euphrates had to be raised up to the highest terraces. Some believe with hidden pumps, others with giant screws turning endlessly to lift the water skyward. With this lifeline, the gardens flourished, defying the desert. Palms swayed, cypresses shaded the courtyards, and fragrant blossoms perfumed the air. For those who gazed upon it, the Hanging Gardens seemed not of this world. Greek historians later called it one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, a place where man had bent nature itself to his will. But even as they marveled, questions lingered. Did the gardens truly exist, or were they the dream of poets and travelers enchanted by Babylon's glory? For years, the Hanging Gardens stood as the heart of Babylon, a living monument of love and ambition. Travelers from distant lands came to gaze at its terraces, their voices carrying tales of wonder far beyond Mesopotamia. To see the gardens was to believe in the impossible. Stone turned into mountain, desert turned into paradise. But time is a relentless enemy even to marvels. The story of the Hanging Gardens fades into shadow, their fate uncertain. Some claimed they were destroyed when Babylon itself fell to foreign conquerors. Others said neglect, war, and the slow creep of desert winds reduced them to dust. And yet, no ruins have been found, no stone terrace, no irrigation system, no broken pillars where vines once bloomed. The earth has swallowed the proof. Greek historians like Herodotus and Strabo preserved the tale, describing terraces so vast they seemed like mountains, watered by ingenious machines. Their writings carried the legend into eternity. But they too left contradictions. Herodotus, for example, never once mentioned the gardens, while later writers swore they existed. Were these accounts eyewitness reports, or second-hand tales embroidered with imagination? Modern scholars have searched tirelessly, combing the ruins of Babylon. Some argue that the gardens were never in Babylon at all, but in Nineveh, the Assyrian capital built by King Sennacherib, who also created grand terraces and irrigation wonders. If so, then history itself may have confused empires and kings, weaving fact and fiction into a single legend. And so the Hanging Gardens remain suspended between reality and myth. Perhaps they truly stood in Babylon, built for a queen's longing. Perhaps they lived only in the words of poets, an imagined paradise that never touched the earth. Or perhaps they stood once, only to vanish without a trace, devoured by centuries of dust and conquest. What endures, however, is not stone or flower, but story. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon remind us that human beings from the dawn of time have dreamed of bending nature to beauty, of carving paradise into the harshest landscapes. Whether they rose above Babylon's walls or only in our imagination, they live on as a symbol of love, ingenuity, and the eternal longing for wonder. And so, the legend of the gardens closes not with certainty, but with mystery, a vanished wonder that refuses to die, a paradise forever hanging in the memory of humankind.